Holy guacamole, ladies and gentlemen, AMC stock is up over 10% today, whereas the NASDAQ is down over 2%. This looks very indicative of a short squeeze, at least in the forming. Now, we're going to get into everything that is happening on the day, why I am so excited about where we are currently at, and why this could be the start of another short squeeze with AMC stock. So I hope you guys are ready. Let's get into it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, baby. Thank you guys for watching. So, first things first, AMC. Let's just point out the elephant in the room, the obvious here. AMC up 10% on the day. S&P down 1.85% on the day. Typically, this does not happen. When this does happen, and really by this margin, you haven't seen this in a long time. You haven't seen AMC outperforming the S&P by 5x in a decent amount of time. So one, that is very good. And when this tends to happen, it shows a lot of strength within AMC. Now, possibly, let's just call this a possibility of why AMC is actually going higher today. You can see this article from Seeking Alpha that AMC faces class action requests to delay the March 8th vote. Now, it's hard to say if this is going to cause a 10% move because it's already been priced into the stock. But then again, if it's already been priced into the stock that this was going to go through, I've said it many times, you've already felt the pain of this whole event, assuming that the markets assume that it's going to go through. Maybe if there is now some doubt in the air about this, it could be a positive thing. Would it give you a 10% gain on the day? I'm not convinced of that. And what I'm more convinced of is shorts getting a little bit nervous about those short positions, and especially the ones that they are hiding in the option activity. It just might be so that they are coming to realize that they are massively short on a stock that might not deserve it heading into earnings for next week, which will be on February 28th. And we'll talk about that more over the next couple of days and in this video as well. Now, before we dive into the technicals, and I'm very excited about that, let's get into the Ortex data here on the day. So AMC is still on the threshold securities list. Short interest of free float sitting at 23.26%. 120 million shares that are sold short here today. Cost to borrow average, this one is interesting. On Friday was 527%. Now it is 851%, whereas the cost to borrow max has not moved at all today. It's still at 955%. Cost to borrow minimum at 1%. We still don't have new numbers from Interactive Brokers, so that is unfortunate. I would imagine you're 300, 400, 500% on those cost to borrow rates. And no surprise, when you look at the interesting flow sentiment, it is extremely bearish. It is 11% positive order value here on the day. Pretty bearish for a 10% move higher in AMC stock. And this comes down to the premise that, hey, I think shorts are using the puts to hide some of that short interest, because even when you're seeing days like today where there's a lot more calls than puts being placed on the option chain, you're still seeing the interesting flow sentiment. These are institutional hedge fund orders. These are not retail orders that are being flagged. You know, it begs the question of, are they using options to hide their short positions? Because that's a well-known fact that they can do that. And what we're seeing with the Stock Tracker data and days like today, stocks up 10%, where hedge funds orders are so bearish, it leads a lot of credibility to the theory that they are hiding their short interest. Now, if we take a look at the Stock Tracker data here today, 42,000 calls in the money, 115,000 calls out of the money. These numbers have changed quite a bit today. You have seen a lot of calls actually go into the money for this Friday, which can definitely help because this week is a short week. Obviously, we didn't trade yesterday, so we only have 4 days in this week. If calls start to go into the money, there's not as much time as a typical week, so you might see a lot of that hedging actually take place pretty quickly after those contracts do go into the money. Now on the put side, 16,000 puts that are in the money, 81,000 puts that are out of the money. And then for the next couple of weeks, we've talked about this before, it looks pretty docile. And then you got the week of March 17th, in which I do think there is a lot of that put activity to hide those short positions, because you have 333,000 puts that are in the money, 970,000 puts that are out of the money. You've never seen this kind of option activity on AMC ever, especially not on the put side. You've never seen that before. And I think it's pretty clear to see fundamentals are getting better, right? There's more movies going to theaters in 2023. Fundamentally speaking, it doesn't make sense to all of a sudden have this many put positions on AMC. You factor in the threshold securities list, you factor in all these other things, it becomes overwhelmingly clear to see what is happening. Now, speaking of FTDs, if we take a look at what is currently supposed to be bought back here today, you're at about 2.5 million shares today. Tomorrow, 1.8 million shares. On Thursday, 1.5 million shares, and on Friday, 1.4 million shares. And then the following week, that's where things get really crazy, where you have over 2 million FTDs that need to be bought back every single day. But for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that number is closer to 3 million. On Wednesday, it will be 3.2 million shares, and you have never seen FTDs this much in a row, back to back to back. Like, look at these white lines. You've never seen this before in this same way ever in AMC, at least since the January of 2021 rally. Sure, you've seen big FTD spikes when the stock actually did rally, but you know, before that, it was very inconsistent. It was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. Over here, I mean, it hasn't went down. It's been trending up for months now. And that could, again, help fuel some of a potential short squeeze and a potential rally. Now, on some broader market news of what is actually happening today, Walmart and Home Depot are getting ready for a consumer slowdown. Walmart and Home Depot reported pretty good numbers, but they gave you bad guidance for 2023 and for the quarters ahead. And that is what is kind of spooking the markets, because that is showing consumers are slowing down. And ultimately, the markets only care about a recession. They only care about earnings going down, because in the grand scope of things, why the markets sell off in 2022, it wasn't because earnings were going down. Not at all. It was a multiple compression, because people are like, hey, we're heading into a recessionary environment. If we do go into recession, we gotta, price this in beforehand, right? That's why you've seen the whole stock market debacle, the whole crash of 2022. It was because of fears of a recession, because the Fed was raising rates. Now you're getting two of the largest retailers in the whole entire world, Walmart being the largest retailer in the entire world, reporting, not so good guidance for 2023. It's spooking markets. And the way specifically that AMC is outperforming the markets makes me very, very bullish. If we take a look at the technicals, this might be the best thing of the whole entire day. Forget the option activity, forget the Ortex data, forget any of that. Look at the technicals here, guys. I did have my price target in between about 650 and 750 for this week, being if we break above this downtrending level of resistance. Well, what has happened today? You came up, you hit a peak at about $6.20 per share. You came down a little bit, but you're still above this downtrending level of resistance. This is showing some very bullish momentum, because this has been a level in which has been very hard for AMC to stay above now. And considering it's only Tuesday and you don't have earnings until February 28th, that is going to be next Tuesday. If AMC can hold this level and even make an uptrending move, to get away from this line, heading into earnings could really give you an explosive event. And that's the number one thing that I'm most bullish on today, is going to be the technicals. So you're getting further away from that support level at $5.30 per share, and it's really going to take a pretty bad day to get AMC down to that support level. I think you will find support at this downtrending level of resistance, and if that happens, say you come down a little bit tomorrow or it's flat, that could set you up for a substantially larger rally throughout the rest of this week. So I do think this is the start of another short squeeze kind of rally with AMC stock. The technicals are definitely supporting it, and specifically this downtrending level of resistance. You can see it's squeezing between this support level at 530, this line right here. You're literally at a horizontal triangle, if that's the best way to put it, and you have been getting squeezed out at this level. AMC has been holding, and now you're finally breaking out above. On a technical basis, that would support something along these lines, right? You just easily chart this out. This is one of the cleanest technical charts to actually look at right now, just based off of what is going on. Now you factor in the relative strength of the day. AMC up 10%, markets down over 2%. Hats off, pretty clear to see, at least from my personal opinion, guys. So there is all of that information. I hope you guys are excited. Let me know down below in the comment section your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and most certainly if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.